at Moore Farms Botanical Garden in Lake City, South Carolina, and I'm speaking with Kirk Laminek, standing up on what looks practically like a whole garden, but we're up in the air.
Sure, so we're on our 6,000 square foot green roof that houses our maintenance facility, and it's really just a layer of soil and plants on top of a building. A little more complicated than that, but green roofs were originally designed in the Scandinavian area to add insulation to houses during harsh winters.
To keep the people warmer.
Right,
yeah.
right. But in more modern times, that's kind of been adopted to provide green spaces to urban areas, and it adds insulation to the building as well, and also help with the stormwater management of impervious surfaces of a city.
So in South Carolina, where really I think we worry more about being hot than cold, do you get some cooling effect by having a green roof?
Absolutely. So it helps with the insulation of the building. Just like on ground level, the soil is cooler in the summer when you dig down a little bit, and so we get that same insulated effect of the building.
Besides saving money on heating and cooling, you've got the benefit of you're holding the stormwater, so you're not impacting the cities overflowing their stormwater system. But what about just the actual roof cost? You know, at my house, my roof's about 25 years old, and I kind of need a new roof. How often do you have to just start from scratch?
Sure. So the initial cost of a green roof is much higher than a typical roof or a conventional type of roof. But it does help in the long run that since you have this layer of soil and plants on top of the roof, it helps buffer any temperature changes, and it also helps provide protection from the UV light or from the sun. And so that helps kind of buffer that water protection layer, and in turn, in the long run, it helps extend the lifespan of that roof.
How do you design a building to hold up this green roof?
So it was known going into the construction of this building that we were going to have a green roof. So the structure was reinforced to hold that kind of weight because it is very heavy. Per square foot, it's about 40 to 45 pounds per square foot. And so over this entire building, that's about 120 tons sitting on top of the building.
And then we walked up here too.
Right. Yeah.
You've got a heavy roof then, and what happens when it rains? It seems like all this soil holding all that water would really add a lot of weight.
Sure, so water is absorbed by the plants, and namely the soil, but we do have very good drainage, effective drainage on the roof, which is very important because you don't want water sitting on top of a green roof. And so once it does rain, water drains into our gutter, and then it flows into our harvested cistern where we keep our harvested rainwater, and we use that to irrigate the green roof and wall as well.
The old thoughts, I think, were that you'd put a green roof up and it was just supposed to be able to take the heat and the drought and everything. What's the new attitude towards caring for a green roof?
So if possible, you want to treat it like a ground level landscape. So irrigate it as needed, treat the plants, prune, care for them as needed, but still with sustainability in mind. So we do provide irrigation when needed, and then we harvest that water, of course.
At Moore Farms, things are supposed to be pretty, and this roof is beautiful. Do you change flowers out and plant some so that you've always got something in bloom and beautiful?
We do. So we do have some residual perennials up here, some bulbs and other plants that come back for us every year, but we also like to pop in some annuals for that instant color, that change from just monotonous from year to year, and so it gives us kind of a different look every season with the annuals that we throw in up here.
Because right now we've got all these tulips and daffodils and things
Sure.
that are so indicative of springtime and so much fun. It would seem that people who were going to have a green roof probably for stormwater mitigation and insulation values and weren't quite so concerned with the aesthetics might want to have a different group of plants that they could just kind of put up there and not have to worry about so much. Are y'all doing some research here to try to help people know what would perform well in this environment?
We are. So while this is mainly meant to look aesthetic, and a lot of them may not perform well on a typical kind of green roof that has to withstand that tough environment and some shallow soil with limited irrigation. So we have our trowel structures that are more meant to mimic the common type of green roof that's seen in the industry. And so we have limited soil volume, we limit the irrigation, and we're just troweling some tough plants that we think will survive in this type of climate, because there really is kind of a lack of research and knowledge in the hot, humid climate of South Carolina and the like of green roof plants that are successful on that kind of common, typical type of green roof.
And also, not only a roof, but you've got a wall that you've put plants on, and what was the purpose of that?
Sure, so that's another just way to provide aesthetics and green area to urban environments on building envelopes. And it's just meant to provide aesthetics and look good and just be part of the building as well.
And does that present a different set of problems and design features?
It is. It seems to drain really fast. Irrigation seems to always be kind of an issue, getting that right. And then sunlight, just depending on the side of the building that it's on, has an effect.
If people would like to know more about green roofs and what's happening here at Moore Farms Botanical Gardens, is there a good way for them to get that information?
Yes, so you can visit moorefarmsbg.org, and there you can go on and see our calendar. We have events. You can schedule a tour. You also can ask a horticulturist, so if you have any type of landscape questions or plant-related questions, you can get on there and ask a horticulturist, and we can respond via email.
Well, I want to thank y'all for giving us ways of being more environmentally sustaining and protecting our natural environment here in South Carolina. Kudos to you at Moore Farms Botanical Gardens.
Thank you.